Hi, I'm Karen Curry Parker, creator of the Quantum Alignment System, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about your creativity. The first thing that I really want you to get, because if you can get this, it's going to give you the power to let go of all the things you've been taught about being creative and allow you to embrace your creative muse in the way that's right for you. Here's the deal. There's no one size fits all way to manifest or create. So, any of the formulas you've learned or any of the things you've been taught about creativity up until this point that maybe haven't worked for you, maybe haven't worked for you not because you're screwed up or you're stuck or you're blocked, but maybe it hasn't worked for you because it hasn't been the right way for you to dance with your creative muse. You have to know if you're going to unlock your creative possibilities and creative power, you have to know how to dance with your creative muse in the way that's right for you. I'm going to just show you a brief overview of what's possible for you, and I'm going to do it in the context of human design because I want you to understand that you have a blueprint for creativity. And that blueprint for creativity is going to only be right and correct and accurate for you. So for you to unlock your creative power, you have to discover what it's actually in your energy blueprint. We're going to use human design because it's a powerful tool to help you understand who you are, what your life story is, what your natural creative style is, what your path to unlocking your potential can be, and why you're here in the first place. Human design is a synthesis of Eastern and Western astrology, the Chinese I Ching, the Hindu chakra system, the Judaic Kabbalah, and quantum physics. It is the blueprint for the human potential, but it's also the blueprint of your personal life story. Your authentic story is needed now more than ever because your story, who you are, and let me just say this because sometimes we get so lost in life purpose thinking that it's something we're supposed to do. Your life purpose and your life path is to be the fullest expression of who you are. And when you do that, you living the story of who you are in this lifetime is the contribution that you make to humanity. Your story adds to the story of humanity and it awakens the world to the possibility of infinite creativity. Humanity is a precious, unique, and ever-changing puzzle. Each piece is dependent on the other to fulfill the beauty of the whole. And when we're out of alignment, when you're not being who you were designed to be, it actually affects the entire face of the puzzle of humanity. What happens to one of us happens to all of us. Take a minute today and make sure that you're truly fulfilling your unique place in this puzzle of humanity. And do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Don't try to force yourself into a space that isn't yours. Don't tear off your edges and nubs and try to fit in where you don't belong. Truly fill your place. Do it and do it well. And let the light of who you really are flow out of you. And may you be the fullest expression of your unique and very special piece of the puzzle of humanity. We are who we are, all of us, because you are who you are. The future is coming, and it's depending on you to dance with your muse, to wake up your creative power so that you can take your place in the story of humanity. Let's start by busting some of the myths of creativity, though, so when you can break through these myths and really start locking into what's true and right and good about your creative power, it can hopefully set you free from some of the traps that we are kind of put into, or the boxes that we're put into when we are not given the real understanding of the nature of our creative power. The first thing that I want to show you is creativity is not in your head. We have this idea that inspiration is sort of this lightning bolt that pops into our head, and then we sort of sit with that inspiration, and whether you're creating a computer program or a magnificent painting, doesn't matter. We're sort of just told that we got to figure it out, right? We have to get into our head and make a plan, and set a goal, and find the steps and figure it out. In the human design chart, which is in the context that we're going to be talking about it in this little presentation, we're going to be talking about the human design chart strictly in the context of it being a blueprint for the potential of humanity. We're looking at this in the context of human possibility. The yellow triangle and the green triangle at the top of the chart, that's where the head is on the chart, is where the mind is located. If we look at the gates in the head and the ajna, these two centers up here at the top of the chart where the mind is located, each one of these little gates, these numbers, represent a different archetype, a different possibility for humanity. What we see in this archetype at the bottom is we have opinions, new ideas, ideas that lead to overwhelm. We also see what's all in your head is confusion, oppression, reaching to know the unknowable, rationalizing, doubt and suspicion, and answers, but not necessarily the right ones. These are just answers. Usually we make up. Okay? Your head is a crazy place to be tapping into your true creative power. In fact, if you really sat and listened to yourself, like, for example, if you really sat and listened to what's going on in your mind when you're stuck in traffic on the highway, it's actually a really good thing that we're not creating so strongly with our head. Your mind and your mindset certainly play a unique and powerful role in your creativity, but it's not about figuring it out. It's not about translating inspiration into a concrete plan. True creativity happens below the neck. We are designed to dance with our outer reality. We're in bodies. We're on the planet. We're on Earth. We're not floating up here in some, ungrounded netherland of the mind. We're here with our feet on the ground. When we create, we're most likely, if you're creating, you're most likely doing most of your creating with your hands or your feet or your movement. We're embodied spirits in form. And so creativity comes from the interaction that we have with the outer reality. When we look at the chart, again, strictly as a blueprint for possibility for humanity, I'm not looking at specific charts, so don't go run and look at your chart if you have your chart and go, well, I don't have this, so therefore I'm doomed. Nobody's doomed. Everybody has a very important role to play in the puzzle of humanity. When we look at the chart as strictly a possibility of what's available to us as humans, what we see is that we're designed to make a creative contribution to the world by being who we are. You are the creative contribution. It's not your art, it's not your books, it's not your anything else other than you being you. You are the art. You are also designed to receive all the resources you need to make your creative contribution to the world. And part of what has to happen for us to unlock that, we have to recognize that our own sense of value oftentimes and our own sense of our own lovability contributes to our willingness to position ourselves to receive the support that we're designed to receive to fulfill our life purpose and be who we are and make that contribution to the world. You're also designed to be talented, masterful, corrected, and joyful, meaning that you're designed to do things again and again and again to get them right. Practice and repetition is part of the creative process. You don't get perfect. Talent is awesome, but talent is only talent and does not become masterful without the journey to mastery. And for some of us, we have to have consistent habits in order to get to mastery. And this is the other part that's so important, others of us need to have a different kind of a pattern of creativity. There are a lot of people on this planet who don't do well with consistent patterns and habits. That's not their natural energy style. So some of you, it may be about finding your creative flow. And for some of you, it may be doing the same thing every day as part of your repetitive process, your repetitive steps of practicing that lead you towards creative mastery. We are designed to be perseverant and determined if we love what we're doing and we're responding to opportunities that show up in our outer reality. Notice I didn't figure this out. You don't find the opportunities in your head, okay? They show up and you go, this one feels great. I'm going to go do it. And we're designed to, when we love what we do, put our energy into it. It's actually really difficult for us to create if we don't love what we're doing. We are designed to be passionate and to have inner and outer creative cycles. And I would even add, we're also designed to have on and off creative cycles. Sometimes the muse is loud and clear and you're in the flow and you're doing it. And sometimes not so much. And that's not wrong, and that's not being blocked or stuck. That's the cycle of creativity, and it has inner and outer creative cycles. We are designed to try new things. We're always going to be pushing the edge of the envelope as a species. As part of our nature, and it's from pushing the possibility of what we can be creating in the world that we discover what else is possible. We are also designed to dream, to fantasize, desire, and to write, and other things as well. It is our daydreaming, our capacity to fantasize and imagine, that is a key component to our creative process. We are by nature storytellers, and the stories we tell define our identities and how we think. In fact, storytelling is such a vital part of our creative process that when you look at the development of the brain, when we are children, before we become reasonable beings around the age of 9, we are actually designed to learn about life from storytelling. Our whole being is designed to absorb the human process, the human story, on the lap of someone as they tell us the stories of life. For us to really unlock our creative capacity and tackle, and maybe not tackle, but to dance with and activate your muse, you have to feel and fully activate your sense of lovability. You have to feel and fully activate your sense of empowerment. You have to feel and fully activate your courage. You can't let fear hold you back. You have to feel and fully activate your capacity to make strong and powerful choices that are right for you and you only. You have to know how to understand your emotional energy and how to leverage that energy as one of the most creative powers in your life. You have to know how to trust yourself and to really be able to drop into your own inner awareness, your gut level feelings about what's good and right and correct for you. You have to be vital. It is very, very, very hard to activate your full creative power if you are burned out. If you're exhausted and depleted, you can't create anything except rest, hopefully. You can't create if you're not being who you really are. You can fake it, you can put on a mask, you can try, but there's a very finite capacity for how long you can do that. Your life, your soul, your spirit is calling you forth to be the full expression of who you are, your authentic self. And when you tap into that truth, that level of being, then you unlock phenomenal creative capacity. And you have to value yourself. You have to recognize the value of who you are and the nature of who you are so that you can really be the contribution to the world that you are designed to be. How you connect and leverage your creativity is going to depend on your unique human design chart. And in that chart, we see the story of who you are, how you create, what you're here to create, and your life purpose. I want you to always remember, because sometimes we're told the opposite of this. I want you to remember that you are a powerful creative force. You are a master of the quantum field. You have within you the capacity to create a life that is a reflection of the unique expression that is you.